Hey, what's up guys? Today I want to give you 5 tips that can help you be more confident in your everyday life. Confidence really affects the way that others perceive you, the way that you perceive yourself, and also what you choose to do with your life. If you lack self-confidence, then you might not choose to take on certain challenges or to go for your dreams. But if you have self-confidence, you'll carry yourself differently, you'll have a certain amount of respect, and you'll choose to go for the things that you want in life. So it's very important to have. I'm gonna give you 5 tips that I personally find very helpful to stay confident. Okay, so the first one is to take care of yourself and your surroundings. So this is very, very basic, but starts as simply as getting up early, as making your bed, as cleaning your room, as having a clean environment around you. If you are living in what looks like a pigsty, that's not gonna be good for your confidence. So you definitely wanna keep your environment clean. It'll help you give yourself self-respect. On top of that, you want to take care of yourself. The way that you take care of your body, what you allow yourself to eat, what you allow yourself to consume, if you exercise or if you don't exercise, that massively affects the way that you perceive yourself. Are you putting effort into yourself or are you not putting effort into yourself? And then on top of that, what you choose to consume with your mind. So what you're reading, what you're listening to, what you are surrounding your mind with is also going to affect your levels of confidence. If you feed your mind garbage and junk food, aka if most of your day is just spent mindlessly consuming entertainment and memes, that's not going to have a super positive effect on your mind. And you want to make sure that you're investing in, let's say, reading books that will teach you something, that'll inform you, that'll inspire you. So however you choose to invest in your mind, that's very, very important to do. Okay, second tip is to have a plan for each day, for the week, and for your life. So you want to have a plan every single day, every week, and over the course of your life, really because that is going to help you be in charge of what you do with your life and what you do with your time. If you don't have a plan, then you end up kind of getting swept up by the sea of life, and you just get caught up in the everyday, spinning circle of doing things. And you might just be doing things that you don't even know why you're doing them. And you can also become a pawn in somebody else's game. You want to be the director of your own life. You want to choose where your life is headed, what you're going to do with your life, and you don't want to simply be, somebody else's, just a means to an end for them so they can achieve their goals. If you haven't sat down and thought about, hey, what am I doing with my life? This is something that I sort of learned about and experienced a little bit in high school. I kind of just got by and just kind of moseyed my way along, did the best I could, but never really sat down and had like a real clear plan. And then when the whole college thing came along, I saw kids that did have a plan, kids that got into Ivy League schools, that got into these amazing universities. I got into a good university, don't get me wrong, but I definitely didn't plan my way to get there. And I think that if I had had a plan, then it would have made a really, really big difference. So this is something people realize in high school. Some people go off and they go to huge universities and they do really well, and then other people, and don't take this the wrong way, but other people might end up working at the gas station or at a McDonald's or something like that, because they didn't have a plan. They didn't know exactly what they wanted to do, and they never sat down and thought about it. They just spent their time going to parties or playing video games or hanging out with their friends or smoking weed or whatever it is, and they never actually sat down and thought about their life seriously. So really, really important to do. That's tip number 2. Okay, tip number 3 is head up, shoulders back. So your actual body language and your posture is going to affect your hormones and the way that you feel inside. So there's something called power postures. This is something public speakers do before a talk. It's something I do whenever I kind of need to appear very confident. And confidence is something that you can fake. And over time, you'll start to feel like it. It's not really faking it, but sometimes you have to exude confidence before you actually feel it. So power postures. Anytime you see Superman, it's like hands on the hips, legs wide, and he's standing in a very strong stance. You don't see Superman like this. You don't see him sort of like hunched over and looking sort of like wimpy. It's shoulders back, head up, very confident, always that sort of piercing look. So when you do that, it actually does increase your testosterone. It actually does make your body feel more confident. Psychologically, you start to feel more confident. This is something that I used to do when I would go into interviews. If I would go into a job fair, if I would be giving a presentation, if I had to network with people, I always overdressed, and then I also shoulders back, head up, as confident as I could be, voice dropped a little lower, shaking hands and all that kind of stuff. So you kind of want to play the part, and then you'll actually feel that way. Something I also use for auditions as well. When I go into an audition, never show a sign of fear. For some reason, they can sniff fear out, and nobody really wants to cast somebody that's like stumbling over their words and is super nervous. So you want to go in there and really give yourself every opportunity you can. Dress the part, look super confident, feel confident, control your breathing. If your heart's going out of control, deep breaths, just calm down, look confident. When you walk in there, smile, and just look like you're ready. Another thing that helps with confidence is preparation. If you're prepared for these things, you're going to be a lot less nervous. If, let's say as an actor, you know your lines backwards and forwards, then you're going to be really, really confident. In a job fair, if you know your pitch, if you know your resume backwards and forwards, you're going to be more confident, so you're going to feel better. So preparation is also key. That's tip number 3. Okay, tip number 4 is to be uncommon. So a lot of the time you'll hear things like, let's say somebody's really successful and they'll be like, yeah, but look at this person, they achieved this great thing. And then you'll always hear people say something like, yeah, but they're the exception to the rule. Or, yeah, that's nice for them, but you're not them. Don't take that. When people try to act like you're just common and the people that achieve success are uncommon and they're just naturally gifted or they're smarter or they're more talented or whatever it happens to be, that's a load of nonsense. Don't take that. Always classify yourself as the uncommon person. So I remember in high school, I had this teacher that sort of explained to us how many years of education it takes to make a certain amount of money. And he said, some people don't end up going through their education. They might drop out in high school or college, but chances are that they're not going to really make much money and they're not going to be that successful. You want to follow through on your education. Great advice, nothing wrong with that. But I remember in my mind, anytime somebody says stuff like that, I always tell myself like, yeah, that doesn't apply to me. Like that's nice, but that ain't me. Like whatever I do, I will find a way to be successful. So always speak to yourself as if you're the uncommon one, as if you're that rarity, you're that that person that's just an outlier who achieves that random uncommon success. Don't allow people to group you into this like you're just like us, you're just like everybody else. Don't accept that, because you're going to start to accept those restrictions and those regulations on yourself, and you're going to try to act common. You're going to try to fit in. You're going to try to be acceptable to people and pleasing to everyone. And you don't want to do that, because if you're too well behaved, you're not going to achieve the things that you want to achieve in life. Doesn't mean break the law, but you can bend the rules sometimes. Okay, tip number 5 is stay calm and composed when things get crazy. So in high pressure situations or when you're feeling overwhelmed, this is one of those times where you can kind of fake it and it'll actually help you. So just stay calm and composed. If you're stressed, if you feel like everything's coming at you at once, if it's a really crazy situation, people are looking at you and they're looking to see your response. And they're going to gauge the severity of the situation based off of the way you respond. So if you stay calm, composed, cool, and if you just take everything in stride, you say, yep, I got it, easy, we can do that. And it's really the way that you present yourself. You'll have a better chance of 1, overcoming the stress and getting out of that situation, but 2, people are going to kind of flock to you as a source of comfort, confidence, stability, security, and they're going to be more likely to want to follow your lead on that, and you'll be seen as a leader. If things aren't going well and you're the first person to freak out and panic, nobody's going to see you as a leader, and it's probably not going to help you solve the situation either. Everybody knows it's a bad situation. It's obvious, so just stay calm, composed, cool, collected, and you'll get through it. This is something that I learned in college as well, where sometimes I would be sent out. I had this like career advice type job. I was like a career counselor, and I would be sent out to different departments to give speeches on how kids can develop a career in the sciences, or let's say it's in the arts or things like that. And I wasn't a specialist in this, and sometimes this was like spur of the moment stuff. But I always learned to roll with the punches, and they're like, Will, this is crazy, but we need you to go to this department across campus right now and give a talk. It's in 10 minutes. I know you didn't prepare for this, but can you do it? And I always say, yeah, no big deal. It's going to be fine. And then you show up, and you got to improvise a little bit, but just pretending to be confident really helps sometimes. So that is tip number 5. I think that all 5 of these tips are really important. There's a lot of different ways to increase your confidence, whether it's working out, taking on new challenges, learning new skills, your body language, the way that you sort of present yourself, keeping your room clean, keeping your environment clean, what you put into your mind, what you put into your body, all of those things, everything matters. Hold yourself to the highest standard and others will see you as that. And those are my 5 tips. So I'll see you guys later.